Hello everybody, this is Maximumdonut. Welcome to some more Gwent. Yeah, we're doing it. We're getting to wood. We're getting the wood. More Scum Dagon gameplay coming at y'all. And I'm going to take this opportunity to read through the comments of my first episode. So, Hypothetical Alpine, it's great to hear from you again, MD. Thank you. It is nice to be back. I really did miss making videos. Malcolm Mayer says, "Oh my god, I've missed you." And then the tears are flowing. Alright, we're up against a Henselt. I was playing Dagon. I'm going to try like commentating a little bit more, I guess. Just like talking through a lot more stuff, and I'll see if that actually works out for us. This is a pretty horrendous hand, but so we've got Roach, we've got 2 Arrakis and a Foglet in our hand, so it can be ideal so long as we don't draw a Arrakis when we blacklist the Foglets. So I'm going to go ahead and blacklist the Foglets. So now it's going to be an ideal hand in that we're not going to draw any stuff that we don't necessarily want, as in we don't want duplicates of Arrakis, we don't want any Foglets in our hand, and we don't want Roach in our hand. So Arrakis is gone, and Roach is gone. So that's a pretty decent hand. Lose the coin flip. We've got 2 Weathers in our hand, which is also not exactly ideal. I think we'll just open up with our typical opener of Earth Elemental. So against the Henselt, you typically expect they try to win the first round using K20 Sergeants and win the third round using something like Temerian Infantrymen. So you want to play Fog out early to disrupt them from buffing both of these with their next K20 Sergeant they play. So at the moment we've got 12 points. So the fact that he's stacking them all in the front row suggests to me that he's going to be going for Vess, which is that unit that comes out at 7 strength if you complete a trio in Northern Realms. So at the moment he's got 17 points in the front row and I've got 12 points. So again, Fog ticking will disrupt another one of these units from being buffed by the next K20 Sergeant. So I'm going to continue to probably just play out some resilient unit. Not a resilient unit, I'm playing out my Selena Harpy, which makes me +2 and makes the next play to him. I've got Water Hag in my hand, which I can use to lacerate. Playing out Henselt, but why? For the K20 Sergeant, you get just 1 more K20 Sergeant, and then he gets the Vess out. So at the moment, my Water Hag is representing 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20 points of value plus the body. So I doubt very much that I'll be getting much more value from that. So playing out Trisbutt will put me up to 9, and then we'll tick once, 10, 11. And then I'll probably induce a pass. I could just get ahead with 1 card here using the Water Hag, so probably is a good idea just to go ahead and do that. So that is what we'll go ahead and do. At the moment we are 4 points ahead, having played Water Hag and lacerating the front row. MT Pond 333 says, "Great to see you're back, MD." Thank you very much. Really is very nice to see that people actually do want to continue to watch my content. Redanian Knight Elect, if this unit has armor at the start of your turn, boost adjacent units to it by 1 and deploy gain 2 armor. But this being the highest armored, the highest point unit in the row, is going to have its armor stripped off come the next round. So I think now is a good time to play the Trisbutt. It'll put us ahead on points. Get the Roach out, and we will start ticking up value, which will disincentivize him from going long. Surprised there's no Redanian Knights in this. So he doesn't really want to play this round any longer. Unfortunately, we didn't get an opportunity to play our Rakuses, but certainly we've got a higher carryover because he doesn't have any. So what we're hoping for now is not to draw any Arakuses. Having won the first round, 1.1 card down. This is an opportunity probably for us to push this round, given that we've got such a large carryover, but we could pass early on if we really wanted to as well. So this is pretty much ideal. We got the Frightener as well. So we've got a Frightener and another source of carryover in the Selena Harpy in our draws, which is really good. So we're going to just keep this whole hand because we don't want to be drawing any Arakuses. And our opening play will be a source of carryover. We haven't seen his lock unit come out yet, so could very well see that come out now. So Dandelion comes out. What is that? Reaver Hunter? Oh no, it's his that's right, because when you complete a Blue Stripes Commando trio, it shuffles one, or it puts one at the bottom of your deck. So we're just going to continue to play our cards with the safety in mind that if he ever gets ahead and we want to continue to bleed out the round, we can play the Frightener. So he'll go down to 7 cards, we can play the Frightener, and then he'll have to play down to 6 cards. And then at that point we can choose to either to continue the round or we can look to pass. The Temerian infantrymen come out. So now is a really good time to just play the Frightener, which I think we will go ahead and do. Alternatively, I could just play out the Fog. Which I don't really mind doing, actually. It'll start getting points ticking, and it'll also threaten an Igni, which I definitely do not have. I think we play the Frightener now. That's right. So pretty decent, that's right. So the only problem, I guess, is him having Thala to play here. So to get that point advantage back. So our next play will be to play out the Arakuses, to get them out of the deck to improve our draws for the next turn. So at the moment we're looking at, unfortunately, going 1 card down in this round. I mean, in the coming round. But it'll just take 1 low tempo play for us to get straight back in this game. Realistically, what we would like to do is have the Fire Elemental and the Yennefer going into the next round, so really we could just continue to bleed him for cards. So I might want to just fog the middle row. Oh god. Sorry, that probably was extremely loud. So now is probably a good time to lacerate. That gives us 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16 points, and it also denies him any buffs, so I think we'll just go ahead and do that. And if at any point after he plays a card we actually remain ahead in points, it'll be our immediate pass. Commander's Horn probably, or a buff. Can't imagine this could be anything other than Thunderbolt Potion, or maybe immune boost. Probably going to be immune boost, since you would probably want to armor that unit up so that they'll be buffing. Yeah, so that's expected. So funnily enough, that playing Fog actually will prevent this from buffing eventually. Ooh, it'll be RNG. Oh, actually, no. The Frightener will get buffed up and it'll hit the Frightener first.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, I think this will have to be our pass here. Playing out. So we go one card down. That's not too bad. Our draws are really going to be pretty good. So I think we'll just pass here. Unfortunately, the round didn't go ideally. But he also did use his Dandelion Temerian Infantryman, which is one of his finishes. So the next finisher, I mean, like, he hasn't played more than 3 silvers, so he could still be playing witches. And this is perfect. This is pretty much the ideal hand, really. Be swarming a lot with very few cards. We've got a weather, we got... This is going to be Reaver Hunters. Not ideal. Luckily, when the Reaver Hunter trio completes, it won't be doing its full damage, I suppose.
Your will be done, sire.
Clear skies. So he played Death Mold to clear our weather. We do have another source of weather in hand, and I think that probably the best thing to do is to play it out now, really.
Naivety is a fool's blessing.
Because we want weather to be giving us as much value as possible. I guess the fact...
Lots of prior experience. Worked with idiots my whole life.
Don't recognize your old mates.
The lock unit, which...
I hope we can trust you.
Oh yeah, the reset first. Interesting.
Nature stinks.
Oof, that hurts. Oh, if he plays Gwent, that would be an interesting play, and I think that would be a mistake. I think he should really Epidemic. I mean, we know that, because obviously we've got Yennefer in hand. It's interesting. He's thinking about trying to protect his Reaver Hunters? I'm not too sure. Should definitely be Epidemic. Anyway, he just played Kira Metz. For those of you guys who are not watching, who are just listening to the commentary. So it represents a fairly bad situation for me. I chose incorrectly, in my humble opinion. We'll see how far ahead we are in terms of points now. But 36 points. So, yeah, we're fairly ahead in terms of points. He's going to complete his trio. Hopefully that won't be enough.
This is no time to whimper.
22, 34 points ahead. I don't think his trio will be enough, unfortunately.
This is no time to whimper.
Got pretty close. Alright. Good stuff. $4066. Holy Spawn says, holy fuck. Sam Telepack says, wow. I hope that's a good wow. And Mitchell Gilbert says, welcome back, Donut. It's been too long. Thank you. Yes, it really has been far too long. Alright, and we've got a mirror matchup against Balazar, level 33 player, who's ranked 19, same as me. And in the mirror, oh Jesus, two Aracuses and Roach. This hand could really not be worse. So I've got 3 Foglets, 2 Aracuses and a Roach in hand at the moment. So essentially, yeah, it could not be worse. I should blacklist 1 Aracus first, followed by the 3 Foglets, 2 Foglets. I think what we'll wind up doing is just getting rid of all 3 Foglets and hoping not to draw Arrakis. Because they represent less points per card, and they do represent cards that are going to be coming out anyway. So getting out Weather early is probably better. So his opening move was a Earth Elemental, so I've responded by playing Dagon into Fog in the front row. He's responded in kind in all likelihood, so he's playing his Dagon into Fog, probably into my front row. So I'll respond. So my choices are either to play the Harpy. I could play an Earth Elemental into the front row as well. The potential possibility. Should do that probably in order to block at least 1 tick of damage. Essentially we're just going back and forth doing the exact same thing. Our first 3 plays have been pretty much the same. Only I think I've... Interesting. Actually, and I made a mistake by playing the Earth Elemental on that side. I should have played it on the other side just so that when Seleno Harpies die, they will spawn on that side and they can potentially spawn extra Earth Elementals too. So Lacerate at the moment is representing 2, 4, 6, and 9, 12 points of value at the moment. Having played my Earth Elemental on my front row, essentially we are still in the exact same board state. So he plays out his Seleno Harpies. And unfortunately, my Earth Elemental getting hit presents a bit of an issue for us. If the Earth Elemental with the shield got hit, then we would be playing Seleno Harpy for equal points. Anyway, we'll play our Seleno Harpy as well, essentially mirroring everything that he's been doing so far. So it is not a bad time to Lacerate right now, particularly since we want to deny him his opportunity to Commander's Horn in an effective way. We are probably going to be losing this round, but we are also denying him carryover by doing this, because his Earth Elemental, one of them at least, will die. Essentially, we want to save this combination of cards. So he plays out Caranthea, so our decks are slightly different then. And he plays out Fog. I mean, he plays out Frost. This is going to be a monstrous Lacerate for us, unfortunately. So it is probably worthwhile Earth Elementaling now. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about the Lacerate. If he were to Lacerate, then unfortunately we'd just have to pass the round up. Perfect, so we've denied him a fair bit of his carryover as well. Yeah, nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. So the hope is now that if I were to play out my Arakuses, is it better to play out Roach or is it better to play out the Arakuses? I think essentially we will not be able to get him to... Alternatively, we could play Chironex. That'll be 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 7. No, we'll be losing points by playing Chironex. So we kind of have to play Arakuses, unfortunately, I think. And this probably will not prompt a pass. I mean, this may prompt a pass, in which case we could just take it with Yennefer. But what we're hoping for is him to play out more cards. We'll get ticked for 2, and then we'll get ticked for 2, so we could play out the Roach. No, that won't be enough. So we're wanting him to play more cards here because unfortunately the Arakuses represent negative, pretty bad points at the moment. Huh. It's really very bad for us. So if we were to pass, we make him go... We still make him win the round with 1 card down. And then if he were to dry pass, then we could play out our Roach and be back onto even cards. But I think this has to be our pass, unfortunately. It's not ideal, obviously. So he does have to play out another card here. Thunderbolt, yeah. Well played. So he does get a 3-point carryover. Did a really good job at denying our carryover, obviously. We've got our Frightener and Trisbut. So we kind of have to get rid of our Arakuses and just hope never to draw it again. Our Roach is going to be our throwaway card if he tries to pass in order to gain back card advantage, which he hopefully does. Oh god. Alright, we have to dodge the world in terms of draws here at the moment. So we have to dodge the Arakus because that is pretty much the worst card in our deck at the moment. And we have to... Fuck. So is it worse to have Roach? Is it worse to have an Arrakis or a Frightener in hand? A lot of the cards that we could draw would give us more than 10 points of value, so I think it is actually right to get rid of the Arrakis, unfortunately. That is really bad for us. Alright, we'll get out the Earth Elemental first. It's a really bad position. Obviously, we have not really played this very well. We have to Woodland Spirit early, so whatever play he makes, we're going to be playing Woodland Spirit for fog onto that row. So he plays out his Earth Elemental, so unfortunately row stacking here when he has not yet played his Water Hag is going to be pretty bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to fog the middle row, and then we'll play Frightener next turn, and just hope to God that we do not draw that Arrakis. I feel like at the moment we've been playing around our kind of very bad hand at the start of the game as best as we could. So at the moment I'm up 14 points, but he still has 3 golds left that he hasn't played, as well as 4 silvers. Things look grim. Okay. So we want to deny a great Commander's Horn. Alright, Water Hag, that's great. So we want to get that fog ticking away as much as possible. Okay. Apply that fog. Actually, I probably should have Tris butted there. Is now the time to Yennefer Conjurer here. Would Yennefer Conjurer wind up getting us more points? So 2, 4, 6, 8. No, actually what I think it's probably time for is to Water Hag and Lacerate. Try and deny him a good Yennefer Conjurer himself. This does unfortunately risk... Okay, we got really lucky there with the placement of those things. So we've basically been denied, unfortunately, the best Trisput value we possibly could have. So maybe we should have played Trisput way earlier, actually. I think that's probably what's going to wind up losing us the game. But there was no really good time for us to play Trisput unless it was the very first play, I think. Instead of Woodland Spirit. Yeah, there was no point to play Woodland Spirit so early. If we'd played the Trisput a bit earlier. So at the moment 3, so 4, 8, 9. He's got 9 and we've only got 8. So if we played Yennefer and we buffed, that would be pretty much negative for us. So by Chironexing we actually get the most value. And now we basically would deny him that trigger by playing out a Chironex. So probably this is going to be... So Chironex is actually better for us since they're probably going to die, since they're going to die anyway. And we still lose by 16 points. Game is... Yeah, did not play ideally, and his build was actually well suited to take mine, so yeah, it's well played. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Back to where we started. Eek.